Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for you today. So after my videos on Nvidia, AMD and Intel, a lot of you have been asking me to cover a company called ASML. So here it is. It's a Dutch company. It used to be part of Philips actually a long time ago. Obviously in this video what I'm going to do is talk about the recent earnings report. I'm going to explain to you what ASML is actually doing and why it's such an important part of the semiconductor industry. And then at the end of this video talk about the pros and the cons. Obviously, you can already imagine there are more pros than cons. Now, if that's something you would like to hear, just sit back and relax. But before I do so, just want to thank everyone that has been subscribing lately on the way to 17,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And if you like these videos, leave it an early thumbs up as it really helps me outgrow the channel and get my videos out there. I would also like to thank the Motley for sponsoring this video. Again, these are my views and my views only. The Motley is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me find the latest growth stock and innovative company. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Full Offers. Through the Motley Fool's Stock Advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have returned over 500%. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more this year, you can visit www.fool.com/couchinvestor or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if Stock Advisor is right for you. Now let's dive into this. Alright, so what is ASML, what do they do, why is it so important, and who are their customers? So let's start with the last one. Major customers, Intel, Samsung, TSMC, to name the biggest one. Obviously TSMC, the biggest one out there. Now, why is ASML so important? What do they do? So let's take an iPhone, for example. I'm sure a lot of you have an iPhone right now. So in the iPhone, there is a chip that was designed by Apple, manufactured by TSMC. Now TSMC is using a system, a very particular system that is designed, manufactured by ASML because it's using EUV, as you can see here on the picture. That's how it looks. So what does that machine actually do? So think of that machine as a printer, a very expensive printer. Now each chip that has to be made has many layers. Let's think of it as an apartment complex. So each layer has its own blueprint or floor plan, for example. Now that machine, that system that ASML builds is used to make those, let's say, buildings that we're calling chips based on the master plan that was provided by the chip designer. So Apple, AMD, Qualcomm, Nvidia. This has been done with the use of EUV, a machine that costs approximately $100 to $150 million. Now to build those machines, it usually takes approximately 3 to 4 months and 100 to 150 people. So obviously, it's not that they ship the machine fully ready to being used. No, they ship it probably in one plane or maybe a couple of planes. And then it takes 3 to 4 months to actually build, to train the personnel. And it usually takes 100 to 150 people. So not a small amount of manpower. Now I'm sure right now you're asking yourself, okay, fine, these machines are pretty big deal. They're pretty big as well. Now, do those companies need to update these machines every now and then? How is that happening? Do they need to order a full new machine as well? So the answer is actually no. Like an apartment, you can build another floor on it. So like with this machine, the same thing. There's this machine, the main unit, let's say. If there is an upgrade, you can just add it on top of that. No need to buy a whole new machine. But as you will see at the end of this video, that's one of the pros and cons of ASML. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into the earnings report. All right, so the earnings were pretty good, especially the net bookings, as you will see right now. So net sales of 4 billion euros. Yes, this is a Dutch company, so earnings report are in euros. Net system sales of 2.9 billion euros. Installed base management sales of 1.1 billion. We're going to talk about that last one in a bit. Gross margins 50.9%. Operating margins of 30.8%, earnings per share 2.52 euros. Now look at that last part right here. Net bookings of 8.2 billion euros. That's double the net sales for the quarter. That's including 4.9 billion euros of EUV systems. because as you know, they're not just selling EUV systems, they're selling DUV systems as well. The company is also expecting net sales for next quarter to grow 35%, so that's very, very positive. Now the net sales breakdown, as you can see, majority is from logic, majority is from Taiwan and South Korea, USA just 6% here. Now you might ask yourself, what is logic, what is memory? So memory is just the same thing, it's just memory chips. Now logic is just the term they use in the chip industry, and that's the microprocessors and other parts that compute the basic operations of software. Right, so now we know what's memory, what's logic. So what's that yellow part right here? Installed base management, because that's also a large part of the business, and it's going to help them a lot once, let's say, the chip shortage has gone away and demand is not as high as today because, well, supply has normalized. So once they ship one of those systems, ASML is available 24/7 for anything regarding the thing that they just shipped, whether it's training, support, an issue, they need to maybe take something back, upgrade it, etc. That's usually in the contract that spans in X amount of years, a fee that the company that has bought the equipment that pays these types of services. Now, before we jump into the pros and cons, ASML also pays a dividend of 1.55 euros per ordinary share. They also announced a new share buyback program of up to $9 billion to be executed by December 31st, 2023. So all of that's great. That's just added bonus for shareholders, increasing their value. Now, pros and cons of the company. Like I said, there will be more pros than cons. Now, the first con, which will translate into a pro, competition. Who are their competitors? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, they have the monopoly on the market. Their main competitors is themselves, is the next machine, the next system that they're going to produce, because, well, it costs $100 to $150 million. So the next machine has to be much, much better than the current one, because if it's not much, much better, nobody is actually going to want and order that machine. Moore's law says that every 2 years, the chips must get better by a factor of 2. So the same thing with ASML. If their next machine is not much better than the current one, it's just not going to work. They're not going to sell any. So the main competitors is themselves. So where's the con in all of this? Well, if they can't innovate fast enough, or they can't innovate and make the next machine better, they might probably lose some clients. And number two is that they outsource a lot of their components. Why is this a bad thing? Because, well, if one of these companies are delaying or are not up for the job, this means that ASML cannot complete their system. This will mean that TSMC cannot offer their services as well. And this will mean eventually that your iPhone 13 might not be here in time for the holidays. Now I'm going to pull up this picture. So let's take an example from the most important one, the lenses and the mirror from Carl Zeiss, which, by the way, they call themselves two companies but one business because they've been working together for such a long time. So let's say that company has issues with producing or delivering those mirrors/lenses. ASML cannot complete their machine, and that's a big issue. And lastly, valuation. Yes, you are paying a huge premium on ASML. As you can see here on the picture, their multiples are much higher than their peers in that segment of the market. Why is that? Because one, ASML has basically a monopoly on what they're doing. And two, they are growing pretty fast. The whole chip industry, the whole semiconductor industry is undergoing a huge chip shortage. But that means that ASML, every machine that they produce, they are going to sell. So yes, you are paying a premium, but you're paying a premium on a super quality company. Now in the next couple of years, obviously when the chip shortage is hopefully done, then you might maybe see a pullback. But until then, there's really nothing wrong with paying a premium on ASML. And that will be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you own any ASML stock. If you own any other semiconductor stock, let me know down in the comments below. And if you like these videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.